Network, and we have a special guest for you now. I have talked so often in these recent days about the international nature of the rescue team that saved the soccer players and their coach, culminating yesterday at the end of that rescue mission. And we didn't know until things became very clear that there was a Canadian as part of that rescue mission. And he's on the phone with me right now. His name is Erik Brown, and he is in Thailand. Erik, good morning to you. You're on News Network, and Canada, very keen to hear from you today, I can tell you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good night here, but yeah.
And congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been quite a 2 weeks.
Oh, I bet it has. I wish we had 2 weeks to talk about every detail. But number one, help us understand exactly, Erik, what your role was in this.
Yeah, I mean, since the kids got found, they've been sort of sending in stage support networks, and a total of 13 divers have been sort of coordinated in order to get the kids out. So I've been one of the support divers that's been helping the UK team, who's sort of masterminded the whole operation, get the job done.
So were you involved Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday in all 3 days?
All 3 days, yep.
In all 3 days. So you were, and then you're in that team that took the break and regained your strength and then went back in.
Yeah, I mean, each mission is about 10 hours in total. It's probably about when you get to the cave mouth, you probably about an hour hike in. And then, yeah, from there, we're on our own. So there's 13 of us, and there's four main rescue divers, 2 doctors, and then there's 6 of us who are supporting at different locations along the way and helping the guys get the job done. So yeah.
So as we're talking to you, Erik, we're looking at new video that the Thai Navy SEALs have just put up on their Facebook. So it's helping us understand a little bit about the conditions that you were involved in and in what you were working. I mean, I don't even know the word other than it is just extraordinary. Can you just sort of characterize how difficult it was for you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've never been put in a situation like that before. I mean, I don't think anyone has, but I mean, cracks 30 centimeters big that you have to squeeze through to get back there, and you literally can't see your hand in front of your face. It's, when they say zero visibility, they mean zero visibility. You can't see anything. So you just pull yourself along a rope and, kind of maneuver your way through these underground, some dry passage. It's complicated. It's difficult for sure.
So complicated that many people thought it was, not even possible to do. And then circumstances changed, and the water was coming, and it was too far to drill. So you had to do this to get the boys out. I mean, were you always confident that you'd be able to carry this off, or were there any questions in your mind as you embarked on this?
I mean, I got told from the previous divers sort of what it was like, but when I arrived here and went in the first dive and saw even the first section, which is the 25-minute sort of underwater swim navigation through these, pretty much mud. Yeah, I won't lie. It's in my head, I was like, there's very little chance it's going to work. But I mean,
it did.
Like the team.
But it did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
and there you were.
Did.
I mean, at the end, okay, so you've gone through all of this, and at the end, there you were the gang that brought them out. It did work. I mean, what are your thoughts now that you were able to carry this off?
I mean, yeah, more of the story is going to keep coming out. So, like, you couldn't write this. It's extraordinary what some of these guys pulled off, and I'm just happy that I could help in whatever way I could to support them and make their job a little bit easier along the way. But I mean, you won't see anything like this happen ever again, I guarantee it.
Really? That was the challenge. Why do you think, or what was the key, do you think, that you were able to do this, that it was a success despite this incredible situation in front of you?
I think any diving like this, it comes down to sort of teamwork. I mean, it's in these conditions, you're on your own. No one can really help you, but you have you had the U.S. military there who were rock solid. We were all supporting the Thai Navy, which is obviously coordinate everything. You have the Australians come in, and then you brought in probably 6 of the best divers in the world from the UK who are sort of trained in this type of environment. And then you had 6 of us sort of who happened to be locally around who could help them in their procedures to do it. I mean, I think it I think it was a very small piece to a very big puzzle that to be honest, I don't even know how it fit together, but someone made it fit together and it worked. So.
It sure did, spectacularly. We've seen pictures of the boys in hospital, and they all look to be doing well. But as we look at this video now, as I'm speaking to you, Erik, I think we have a different view now on the condition of the boys as they were being brought out. We learned yesterday that they had some sort of sedation, but it looks to me in this video that they were really on the stretcher, pretty much immobile. Can you tell me about the condition, how the boys were as you were bringing them out?
I mean, I didn't bring them out. I had a job to sort of, help within sort of, area to area. So, I can't really comment on that, to be honest.
Okay, but did you?
I'm not sure what you're looking at right now, but.
So, as a boy on a green stretcher and then wrapped in foil, it looks to me like it could be pretty close to the cave entrance. I don't know exactly where this is in the course of the rescue. The tunnels and the caves, but we had looked at graphics that showed the divers sort of carrying the boys out as they breathe from the same tank and tethered to the divers who were escorting them. And I just wanted sort of the logistics of how you actually did remove the boys.
Not too far off, to be honest. I mean, obviously they don't kind of trail them. Someone has to be in charge of how they get navigated through at all times, but. That all comes down to the expertise of rescue divers in the UK. These guys are, the best at what they do, and they definitely did the job. So.
And were you able to communicate with the boys at all? I'm just interested in what they were saying, how they were feeling, how calm they were, what kind of impressions you had.
No, the equipment that we were using didn't allow for communication.
At all?
Yeah, no.
So they just came out for hours, unable to even ask you questions or say anything to you as it was happening? Yeah, again, I can't speak for the rest of the part, but in my section, it was, there's no communication. No. It's amazing. We've been listening to a news conference today where the governor of the province and the main rescue team head has been referring to all of the people involved, so that would include you, as real heroes. I'm wondering what kind of reception there has been to you as a key part of this rescue mission.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone requires a unique skill set, sort of, as part of the team, and that comes down from the people on the ground to the thousands of volunteers that lugged all the tanks into the places that we need to get them, and my job was a specific role to really support and facilitate the UK rescue team that came in and put the idea together and put the plan together and did this. And so I guess obviously been lots of messages of us a little bit, but those guys are my heroes, to be honest. And, some of the doctors that went in there, or the Navy SEALs Thai Navy SEALs that spent 6 days in there with the kids. I mean, to me, that's a little bit more of a fortitude than I can even imagine, to be honest.
Yes, they were unbelievable, weren't they? And they'll be honored for sure. Have they given you any indication about how they plan to honor you and the other members of the team? Because there has to be something in store for you from Thailand.
Thailand's always it's a very giving country, so we've definitely been taken care of in regards to efforts here. And like I say, right now we're on our way to a little governor's fall meeting type thing. So I don't know, but you obviously don't do it for that side of things. I mean, the fact that you hopefully get to meet the kids and you met the parents, when they came out, and to be honest, that's reward enough as far as we're concerned.
Isn't that great? Yes, to see the kids, and you saw the parents, so you saw the reactions. Did you have any interaction with any of the parents that you can tell us about?
Not as of yet. They were there waiting sort of as things went down, but the way that the staging is set up, I don't come out of the cave until maybe 5 hours or 4 hours, after the kids come out. So things are usually sort of wrapped up and pretty quiet by that time. But I've talked to the people that have actually gone and seen the kids since, and everything is optimistic. Everything's going really well so far.
It sounds really good from the medical perspective. Again, just looking at these pictures, what I keep being struck by is all the infrastructure that was in place in this cave network. It really just in a matter of days. The world coming together, a dive community coming together, all of this pipe and line and all of the equipment and the divers together in this extremely, seemingly well-organized operation. Is that really what it was? Help us understand that, because it doesn't look chaotic in the slightest, but it all came together so quickly.
No, I mean, in the first couple of days, even getting to sump 3 was actually quite difficult. And by the end of it, you had, a full infrastructure there. It was almost a mini city of communication that the U.S. and the Australians brought to the military side in conjunction with the U.S. Thai Navy, and sometimes when you need to get stuff brought in, you'll literally have a line of 600 volunteers, hauling tanks in. And, even when the kids came out, it took about 15 minutes for, this army to come in and sort of tear the whole communications down. It's remarkable what's happening. You blinked and everything changed. There was definitely no lack of efficiency in this operation, for sure. It was phenomenal.
It really was. And about 24 hours ago, we were talking about how it had all come to a successful end and all the boys and the coach were out. Just one final question is that, this is just still so fresh. I bet you're still exhausted from all that you've done. But sort of 24 hours on, is there a lesson in this? How are you sort of processing it in your mind, what you've been a part of, what you've been able to accomplish? It's just sort of a summation for us, if you would, Erik.
Lesson, I guess persistence. I've been there's a few times where it looked pretty bleak, but no one really sort of gave up, and ideas kept coming, and more people and more experts came in, and they got it done. So, I can't really think of anything outside of that that's to learn from this. It's an unfortunate action with a happy ending, to be honest.
Yeah. And is that your overall emotion at this point, one day out, happiness?
Just relief, to be honest. I wasn't. I couldn't imagine, even without spending, 10 hours in there or whatever it is, I can't imagine those kids spending, 13 days or 14 days, whatever it was. And, my testament to those kids, they were, if they didn't have the will they did, then this mission wouldn't have been successful.
Well, you've helped made it so. We didn't know there was a Canadian involved in all of this, even as we followed it so closely here in Canada, Erik, but just a pleasure to know that you were part of that international team, and congratulations on all that you've made possible. Really just an absolutely extraordinary effort on everyone's part. Thank you for the time this morning.
No worries. It really was. Excellent. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Erik Brown,
Thanks.
one of those heroes who helped rescue the 12 soccer players and their coach, all of whom are well and in hospital this morning.